The Ring series isn't something obscure, a franchise beloved by many, and it has seen some weird stuff over the years. And if we're talking about the games based on the Ring franchise, the first one that comes to mind, The Ring, commonly known as the Ring Terror's Realm. While criticized for being different than the accepted perception of what franchise is supposed to be, meaning just an infinite recycle of Ringo story with cursed videotape, the game itself fits quite well in the grand scheme of things of false Sadako-related stories written by Koji Suzuki. Though we are not talking about that one for today. The Ring Infinity, the game barely anyone played, but still an interesting experience. The game was released in the year 2000, the same year Terror's Realm was released. It's not a fancy game, it's just a sound novel, but quite a good one at that, given that it's one of few titles released for WonderSwan. As for the plot, we have three main chapters, each following a different protagonist, and also an additional scenario that was available via WonderGate, service that is now dead. The basic premise is too familiar at this point. Survive the following 7 days and seek a way to escape the curse. The first chapter follows a high school student that was fortunate enough to meet a girl that gave him the ghost tape, but unfortunate enough to get the ghost tape instead of a lovey-dovey adventure. The second chapter follows a story of an unfortunate web user that happened to discover a cursed video uploaded by someone. And the third story follows a couple that had a dream about the contents of the cursed tape, so they decided to visit the home island of Sadako, Oshima, to find a way to survive. The additional chapter follows another character from the first chapter, and all chapters somewhat connect with each other, which is quite nice. The game features a good amount of choices and bad ends, which makes the game quite a bad experience, because I've seen a fair share of people that thought that the first chapter and the death by the hands of Sadako is all the game have to offer, but it's not. Aside from making choices that will affect the ending, the game has two in a way hidden mechanics: fear points and story points. Story points appear only from the second chapter and affect the ending of the last chapter, but fear points are more common throughout the whole journey, and they affect the ending of a chapter the most. And if my reasoning is correct, the more you try to avoid scary choices, the more you raise fear points and get closer to the bad end. But let's get back to the death by Sadako ending. Apparently, on subsequent playthrough, the developers made the fear point system more easy on you, to allow you to progress further, meaning that you can make a few more choices before dying. The help also came from WonderGate service, which gave players hints as how to progress. As for sound, I think that it's quite repetitive, but the title theme, along with the first minutes of gameplay, still spin on my mind from time to time. So that means that they're, if not good, but really catchy. But the sound design shines when there is no sound and some ambient sounds play, making it a little bit tense experience. But there's also a mystery to this game. For over than 15 years there was a consensus that nobody has seen the true ending of the game. Nobody could figure out how to avoid misfortune at the third chapter, and thus the legend of the game with no end was born. Still, not that long ago, hackers dissected the game and found out that the best ending has already been achieved. The true end was quite unsatisfying, to say the least, but we've seen it. Though, no matter what ending could you get at the third chapter, when starting the new game, you will hear another rumor. But it's a little bit different than the first time you started the game, and it features the current end of the third chapter, making it a loop story. And this means that this cursed ring is infinite.